everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful day. This video will probably bring your day down a little bit. Going to be talking about cost of living in Barrie, which, it's all right. Not terrible, not great, but it's all right. But before I get into it, if you could head down below and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content, and hit that like button while you're down there, because it gives me the warm fuzzies inside. Excuse me. So first and foremost, housing. Housing in Barrie, while the average sale price is around $750, the median, so your average is obviously all your numbers added up divided by the number of numbers, right? And so the thing to be careful with averages is that sometimes numbers can get skewed by either a smaller number of extremely large priced properties, or a higher density of, maybe some still large but slightly less large things. The major thing is that with a lot of average prices online, online, you're not really having them take out outliers at all. So, this property sold for $7 million, and then it just yanks the average sale price up for like the week or something like that. So these numbers are based off of 2022. All the numbers today are based off of 2022. I just wanted to make sure that I had a whole year's worth of information as opposed to just, not even half the year that we've gone through already. So average sale price in Barrie, like I said, $750. The median, which is the exact middle number, is only about $600,000. So while yes, there are houses that way more, $600,000 is our middle number, and it's pretty reasonable. Starter home, little below that is what you'd ideally be looking for. Honestly, $600,000 I don't think is out of the realm of possibility. It also largely depends on what area you are going to be in Barrie. Certain pockets are more expensive, certain pockets are more affordable, but that's pretty well the same with any city that you get into. Rent-wise, your median rent price per month is about $1,800, which is actually a 13% increase year over year. And for 2 and 3 bedroom units, you're looking at about $2,100 to $2,400. $2,100 is more towards the 2 bedroom. 24 is more towards the 24 is towards the 3 bedrooms. So a couple $100 for essentially an extra bedroom is basically what you're looking at. $300 a bedroom by those numbers. So it gives you an idea on rent wise. Naturally, those rents are probably more than the mortgage that you'd be paying for the houses, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, I can't change that. So utility-wise, and we're talking heat, hydro, and gas here exclusively. So despite the fact that Barrie is less expensive in other ways, like our housing compared to places like Toronto, our utilities are actually higher than Toronto's for the most part. So a 900 square foot apartment, for example, will run you about $270 a month in Barrie for utilities. That same place in Toronto is probably only around $160 a month. But while your rent is still high in Barrie, or your mortgage is, mortgage would probably be a little bit less, it's not as bad as Toronto. So ultimately, you're probably saving on that front. The average cost of utilities across Toronto, again, average cost of utilities across Canada, not even Canada, Ontario. I have notes, I can read. The average cost of utilities across Ontario is $166 a month. So we are over that pretty substantially. But our housing prices is more in line with kind of the rest of the province. And so water in Barrie, and the reason I kept it separate from the utilities in general, is water prices in Barrie as a cost of living or an average price are very difficult to pin down because Barrie has a pricing structure that is designed to help reduce waste and punish the use of like overuse of water. So you're charged by cubic meter, and so from 0 to 30 cubic meters, you're $1.14 per. So those first 30 meters, cubic meters, are $1.14. Your next 30 cubic meters are going to run you $2.28. Your next 30 cubic meters are going to run you $3.34, which I'm sure you can guess now that every 30 cubic meters of water you're using, you're basically adding the 114 onto it. More than 90 cubic meters, you're going to be paying $4.56 a cubic meter, and then there's also the flat rate of $28.88. So it can either be very affordable or an absolute nightmare. So if you're coming to Barrie, or you are in Barrie, just don't waste water, and your water bill will not be a nightmare. Very simple. Internet-wise, monthly cost of an 8 megabit up or download speed, which is, personally, I prefer faster, but 8 Mbps is pretty stock standard, I would say, for a lot of stuff. It offers a fine browsing experience. 1080p streaming isn't a problem. Anything more than that, you might want more, but it's about $59 a month in Barrie compared to $51 in Toronto, and the average cost across all of Canada is $53. Now, I'm sure Rogers, Bell, whomever you use, third parties, which are probably owned by Rogers or Bell, will have, the higher prices for maybe even close to that price, higher speeds for close to that price. Food in Barrie. So first and foremost, the average Canadian household spends about $12,500 a year on groceries and restaurant dining. The average cost of groceries alone is about $200 a month. Now, this is obviously highly, highly, highly dependent on size of the household, where you're shopping, and what you're shopping for. Things like, your meats, your eggs, your fresh things have been seeing an increase in price lately, as well as just the number of people in the house really matters. I know $200 a month is, I want to say, like half, maybe even less than half of what my mom spends on groceries, but we have 4 people in the house constantly, and I mean, I'm not exactly a small dude. My dad's not a small dude, and my mom and my sister eat relatively healthy, so the price, right? That being said, there are, less expensive places you can go. We've got No Frills, we've got Walmart. Zehrs is kind of on the more expensive end. I'm not sure about Sobeys. I haven't been there in a while, but you've got options if you're looking to save money on it. And then finally, we have daycare. While it might not apply to everyone, obviously those with children do want to know about daycare. So your average price in Barrie is about $1,080 a month for daycare. I'm assuming that's per child, and I think it's around the age of 4 is what that price is based off of. In comparison, if you were to hire a full-time nanny based off of a 40-hour work week, you'd be about 2710, so $2,710 per month, which almost 3 times the amount, but it's more individual basis. Your kid's just at home, but I'm not here to argue about nanny or daycare. I was a daycare kid. But yeah, so those are the different costs of living in Barrie. I looked around for what would be considered cost of living in general, like what goes into it, and it's really just housing, food, and utilities, or so it seemed. Obviously, there's a little bit extra that I threw in here, like internet nowadays, kind of mandatory. But I think that's a good general idea. So your general cost breakdown, you're like 60% of your monthly cost is going to be like your mortgage. You've got, I think, about 20 to 30% might be food, and then the rest kind of slots in. If you have any differing opinions, or you think I missed the mark, or you want me to get down to brass tacks and crack the numbers for 2023, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're down there, if you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content. And you can hit the like button while you're down there as well, because I just spent a whole bunch of time looking at a bunch of stuff that isn't fun, so hit the like button to lift my spirits, or something along those lines. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.